What would make the wisest man in Israel betray his king and best friend? The answer will shatter everything you thought you knew about loyalty, family, and forgiveness. This is the untold story behind the Bible's most shocking political betrayal. Let's start at the beginning. Ahitophel wasn't just any advisor to King David, he was the advisor. According to 2 Samuel 16:23, his counsel was so perfect that it was like inquiring directly from God himself. Think about that for a moment. In ancient Israel, this was the highest compliment you could give anyone's wisdom. Ahitophel was more than an advisor. He was David's closest confidant, his strategic genius, his political mastermind. For years, they worked together building the kingdom. David conquered enemies, expanded territories, and established Israel as a regional power. And behind every major decision, Ahithophel's brilliant mind. But here's where the story takes a dark turn that most people miss. To understand why Ahitophel betrayed David, you need to know about a family connection that's hidden in plain sight in the scriptures. Let's go back to that infamous scandal, David and Bathsheba. Most people know the story. David sees a beautiful woman bathing, commits adultery, then has her husband Uriah killed to cover it up. But here's what they don't tell you in Sunday school. According to 2 Samuel, we can trace the family connections. Bathsheba was the daughter of Eliam, and Eliam was the son of Ahitophel. But wait, it gets even more complex and heartbreaking. That same Eliam? He's listed in 2 Samuel 23:34 as one of David's mighty men, his elite warriors. So we have Ahitophel serving as David's trusted counselor, while his own son, Eliam, is risking his life as one of David's elite soldiers. This was a family completely devoted to King David. Now imagine the betrayal. David takes Eliam's daughter and violates his trust completely, then murders her husband, another loyal soldier. Ahithophel's warrior son has to watch helplessly as his king destroys his family. Think about the internal torture, serving the very man who destroyed everything you held dear, while everyone around you praised him as God's anointed king. For years, Ahitophel swallowed his anger. He continued serving David, but the wound never healed. Then came the perfect opportunity for revenge, Prince Absalom's rebellion. Absalom had his own reasons for rebelling. David's handling of the Tamar incident, his seeming favoritism, the political tensions in the kingdom. But when Absalom started gathering support, guess who was ready to join him? According to 2 Samuel 15:12, Ahitophel was with Absalom from the very beginning of the conspiracy. This wasn't a last-minute decision. This was years of planning, waiting for the right moment to strike back. Ahitophel wasn't just joining a rebellion, he was orchestrating the destruction of the man who had wronged his family. Every strategic move, every piece of advice he gave Absalom was designed to maximize David's humiliation and pain. And Ahitophel knew exactly how to hurt David most. In 2 Samuel 16:20-22, his first advice to Absalom was devastating. Take your father's concubines publicly, on the palace roof, where all Israel can see. This wasn't just political. It was the ultimate insult, designed to echo David's own secret sin with Bathsheba. Ahithophel's military advice was flawless as always. In 2 Samuel 17:1-4, he told Absalom to pursue David immediately with 12,000 men while the king was tired and weak. It was brilliant strategy that would have ended the rebellion quickly. But then Hushai, David's loyal friend who had stayed behind as a spy, gave counter-advice. Hushai suggested waiting to gather all Israel's forces for a massive attack. It was terrible military strategy, but it sounded more glorious to young Absalom. When Ahitophel saw his advice rejected in favor of Hushai's, he knew immediately what it meant. The rebellion would fail. David would survive. And when David returned to power, there would be no mercy for traitors. What happened next is one of the most chilling passages in the Old Testament. 2 Samuel 17:23 tells us that when Ahitophel saw his counsel wasn't followed, he saddled his donkey, went to his hometown, set his house in order, and hanged himself. The man whose wisdom was like hearing from God chose death over facing the consequences of his betrayal. He couldn't live with the failure of his revenge, and he couldn't face David's inevitable return to power. It's a sobering reminder that even the wisest among us can be destroyed by bitterness and unforgiveness. What do you think? Was Ahitophel justified in his anger, or should he have found a way to forgive? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the Bible's most complex characters.